Hi. First of all, I just wanted to let you know that I thought the class overall did a really nice job on the last discussion board discussing the topic, what is education for, both in incorporating what you learned in the strike text, but also in the way that you played off of each other's ideas, pushed each other a little bit, really explored that topic. I want to talk a little bit about why I think that's an important topic of conversation for this class. There are really two main reasons. One is I think it's really important, if we're going to talk about what we value ethically, what our moral values are, to really have a good understanding of what some of our other values are in the context of education. A part of ethical thinking is fairness. And when we think about fairness in schools, a lot of times that can mean a lot of things. It ranges from how we teach a kindergartner what is fair to how we think about the way money is distributed in schools. And to understand why those children are actually there and what teachers are supposed to be trying to accomplish while they're there plays a really important role in our thinking of fairness and what a child should be getting when they walk into a school. What teachers should expect to be doing when they walk into schools are important concepts to really have a firm grasp of if we're going to talk about what we should ask of them in return. And then we try to balance that and really understand, well, what's a fair thing to ask for and what's a fair thing to expect. The other reason I think it's important to talk about this is that, and you found this on your own, it naturally brings us to the conversation of teaching character. Whenever we have a conversation about why do schools exist, what's the purpose of schooling, character will always come up. And as you saw, there are a lot of different ideas about the role of character education in schools, whose responsibility it is to teach moral values. And I'll offer this. I think that one of the things we may need to do is to tease out the explicit teaching of moral values versus the implicit, because there was a little bit of debate in the discussion board about the role that schools should have in teaching moral education or morality or character. And I assume that in that conversation we're talking about the explicit curriculum. But keep in mind that children are always learning morality. Children are always learning character. They may not always be learning what we want them to learn, but they're always learning. Ted Sizer had a book, The Children Are Watching, and the children are always watching, and they're listening, and they're absorbing, and they're modeling, and that includes morality and character, not just the content within the curriculum that we're focusing on. Turning our attention to this week, a couple things that we're going to be doing online. You're going to have another discussion board you're going to engage in, and that's going to be a response to a Dan Ariely video, which I posted on the website. And in this video, you're going to listen to a variety of different studies that try to get at why people think it's okay to cheat. And so we'll play off of that video for our discussion. We're going to be online this week, and then when we return next week, we'll talk a little bit more about moral development and this idea of moral schemas, which I touched on very briefly last time we were in class together. But now we're gonna dive into it in a little bit more detail. I introduce you to the work of James Rest and Darshan Narvez in class, and now you're going to get to read a little bit of that work, and then we'll have another classic dilemma that we'll use as our intellectual or cognitive hook, rather, to hang some of these ideas on. So keep up the good work. Very pleased with the way last online session went, and I'll see you online.